Hello students, how do you feel today? I hope you feel really well, and I am also fine today by the grace of Almighty Allah. Dear learners, I have discussed in the previous class simple, complex and compound sentence, that means transformation. And I have told in the class that I have divided my class into three segments: part 1, part 2 and part 3. Okay? In my first class, that means part 1, I have discussed simple, complex, compound. It's what is simple sentence, what is compound sentence and what is complex sentence in part 1, and its definition and structure, example, and its features. That means how can you change simple sentence to complex. Okay, and today I have presented myself segment 2, that means part 2. It is part 1 and part 2 and part 3, but today I will discuss part 2, that is how can you change simple to complex, complex to simple and simple to compound. Three categories I will discuss today, inshallah. You must be attentive to my lecture and you must write with me an example and its feature. Okay, so no talk more, dear students. Let's start. Today's topic is simple, complex, compound part 2, that means segment 2 I will discuss now. Thank you. Dear learners, I hope you have really practiced the previous classes lesson well at your house, because you are staying at your house now, okay, in safe. I hope, I am optimistic that you practice too much English grammar, because English practice is a must for knowing or good at in English. Thank you. Today I will discuss simple to complex, complex to simple and simple to compound. Okay, first of all I will discuss simple to complex. How you will change simple to complex sentence. Look at the board and notice it carefully, my dear learners. I have written some way, that means if you find when you want to change simple to complex sentence, that if you find any word, that means because of, in spite of, gerund at the time of, if you find because of, gerund, in spite of and at the time of, if you find in simple sentence, that what will you do? What will you do at that time? Don't be tensed. Okay, that instead of because of, you will use complex sentence when you will change to complex. Instead of in spite of, when you find in spite of, you will write though or although. If you find gerund means verb plus ing. I have taken a class in the previous time, details. You may watch my last video on the topic of gerund. You will be cleared, I think. Okay, gerund means verb plus ing, verb base from plus ing is called gerund. Okay, gerund, if you find gerund in a simple sentence, then you will use if or oblique or since instead of gerund, and at the time of indicates when. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you. When you find simple sentence adding because of, you will change since as, in spite of, though, although, gerund, if, since, and at the time of when. Okay, let's give an example. Because of his illness, he couldn't go. Because of his illness, he couldn't go. Okay, that means he was ill, so he couldn't go. Okay, because of his illness. Dear learners, you have to bear in mind that Noun. Noun, this is noun. Illness, it's noun. Noun is used in simple sentence, and adjective. The adjective form of illness is ill. Ill is adjective. Adjective will be used in when you write complex sentence. Okay? So this is past indefinite tense. That means past tense. This is past tense. He couldn't go. This is past tense. As the sentence is past tense, so you have to write as a past tense, including a subject. Okay? He couldn't go. Because of his illness, he couldn't go. So write, he was ill. Dear learners, you look at the board and you find that, you notice that this sentence has two parts. Okay? Because of his illness, and he couldn't go. Why he couldn't go? Why he couldn't go? If I ask this question, why he didn't go? Answer will be, because he was ill. Because he was ill. That reason he couldn't go. Okay? So he was ill. Ill is adjective of illness. Again I repeat this word. Noun is used in simple sentence, and adjective will use in complex sentence. That means it is simple sentence, illness is noun, and this complex, illness simple and ill will be complex, and ill is adjective. Okay? Since he was ill, he couldn't go. Okay? Since he was ill, he couldn't go. Next, another example. In spite of having good result, in spite of having his good result, he could not get chance in a reputed university. Look at the board, my dear learners. In spite of having his good result. In spite of having his good result, that means he had a good result. Okay? He couldn't get chance reputed university. So in spite of, we will use though. If we find in spite of, we will use though. Okay? In spite of his good result, he couldn't get chance any reputed university. Okay? The complex korbo, we will do complex. Though. It will be though. Though he had a good result, he couldn't get chance in a reputed university. Okay? Though he had a good result, he couldn't get chance in a reputed university. This is simple to complex. Okay? You may write examples with me. Simple to complex. We are discussing now simple to complex. Gerund. Simple. Number 2, 3. Reading books. You can enrich your knowledge. Reading books, you can enrich your knowledge. That means reading books, you can enrich your knowledge. Okay? That means reading, is it gerund? Reading books, you can enrich your knowledge. This is gerund. Okay? simple sentence. Reading books, you can enhance your knowledge. Complex will be if you reading books, you can enrich your knowledge. You can, if you read books, you can enrich your knowledge. If you read books, you can enrich your knowledge. That means gerund, if you find gerund, you can, if you find gerund, instead of gerund, you will use if. Okay, if you can use if instead of gerund. Okay. Then another example for you. For by working hard, you can be in life. By working hard, you can be. By working hard, you can be successful in life. Okay, this is gerund. That means by plus gerund. We will change complex sentence. If you work hard, that means you will use. You have to write a sentence when you change. Okay, if you work hard, you can be successful in life. If you work hard, you can be successful in life. That is simple to complex. Okay, dear learners, now I will discuss complex to simple. Okay, now I will discuss complex to simple. Complex to simple is very easy. You just vice versa, you will do just vice versa. You just change since complex, and if you find in complex sentence since in complex sentence, then since as is because of, though, although, in spite of, if, since, gerund, and when at the time of. Okay, that's at the time of will be when. Okay, complex to simple. Dear learners, if you change complex to simple, then you have to bear in mind that this is complex features and this is simple features. You have to bear in mind what are the complex features and what are the simple features. You have to bear in mind this all the time. Okay, let's do simple. Complex, since he was tired, he was absent in the meeting. Since he was tired, this is adjective. Dear learners, I have told in my starting point of the lecture, since adjective will be complex sentence and its noun will be used in simple sentence. Since he was tired, he was absent in the meeting. Okay, we will change to complex simple sentence. That means since, because of. Okay, right, because of his tiredness. Dear learners, note it, tired, it's an adjective because it is a complex sentence, and this is tiredness, it's noun. So simple sentence, in simple sentence you can use tiredness because tiredness is noun. Okay, because of his tiredness, he was absent in the meeting. Okay, next, number 2, the sun, simple sentence. The sun, though though the man weak, he did the work. Though the man was weak, he did the work. Okay, weak. This is adjective because complex, and its noun is weakness. Okay, simple will be the man was will be, because this is past indefinite tense, in spite of, because though, if you find though, will be in spite of his weakness. Weakness is noun. Weakness, in spite of his weakness, he did the work. Okay, that means noun will be used in simple sentence and adjective will be used in complex sentence. You have to memorize this and you have to bear in mind this. Okay, in spite of, though, here though I will use in spite of, here since and because of. Okay, you have to memorize the topic. This is very important for you. If you memorize this topic, it will be very easy, and it will be so much clear to you when you will change simple to complex and complex to simple. Okay, next, give another example for you. Simple to we are discussing about complex to simple. Okay, number 3, complex. If you do not study well, you will not get a plus. If you do not study well, you will not get a plus. If you do not study well, you will not get a plus. Okay, that means study is a must to get a plus. This is complex sentence because it is if, and it is we will find if. Okay, if you find if, you have to use gerund. Answer will be simple. If you without, because it's a negative. This is negative. Okay, if you find negative form, then you have to use gerund. That means by plus gerund. You know, student, dear learners, gerund, by plus gerund, and without plus gerund. Without plus gerund will be used in negative. It indicates negative form. Okay, that means without studying well, dear learners, you have to remember that without gerund, without by form, okay, with a view to, after, while, after these kinds of preposition, you have to use bar plus ing. Okay, bar plus ing, that means gerund. Without studying well, you will not get a plus. Without studying well, you will not get a plus. Okay, without studying well, you will not get a plus. We are discussing about complex to simple. You have to bear in mind this. Dear learners, last example for you by complex to simple. Number 4, complex. If you take medicine, medicine in time, you will be cured. Simple will be taking medicine in time. This gerund, you have to use gerund. Taking medicine in time, you will be cured. Okay, taking medicine in time, you will be cured. I think it will clear to you, inshallah. Taking medicine in time, it will be you will be cared. Dear learners, we already discussed simple to complex and complex to simple. Okay. Next, our last topic is simple to compound. This is our today's last topic, simple to compound. Simple to compound. Dear learners, look at the board and see that. See, we are discussing now simple to compound. In spite of, but, gerund, and, being, was, oblique, were, having, past perfect tense. Okay, this is simple to compound. Number one, in spite of his weakness, he went there. In spite of his weakness, he went there. This is simple. Okay, simple. We will be compound will be but will be used. He was weak because it is past tense. Was, why you will use was, because it is past tense. He went there. This is past tense. He was weak. He was weak, but kintu. He was weak, but he was weak, but he was weak, but he went there. He was weak, but he was weak, but he went there. This is in spite of, if you find in spite of that, you will use but. Okay, thank you so much. Walk fast. Next example, simple. Walk fast or walking fast. By walking fast. Okay, dear learners, today I have discussed already simple to complex, complex to simple, and simple to compound. Okay, and this discussion was in the segment 2, that means part 2. Okay, you know, I have divided my lecture into 3 categories, part 1, part 2, and part 3. Today I have discussed already part 2. Okay, and part 2, by the end of the lesson, I think you have got already simple to complex, complex to simple, and simple to compound. Okay, dear learners, and in my next 3, that means part 3, I will discuss compound to simple, and complex to compound, and compound to complex. Okay, thank you so much. I am going to finish my lecture in this here. You must practice which I have discussed today. Okay, because to know English well and to be skilled in English well, you have to practice more and more. Thank you so much. Be happy and stay happy. Thank you so much.